WPPM LP Philadelphia.
Career Seeker Show live on WPPM FM 106.5.
If I look at my, I have a
I'm your
document
host and the world's number one diversity recruiter, Kenneth L.
It's definitely like
And I've been waiting a long time to bring you the Career Seekers team. Tiffany Southerland, career coach. Alberta Bertolino, recruitment coach. Videographer Will Martin. And together, we are your number one source for career and job search information. We'll be back after the break.
The Career Seekers Show on WPPM FM Philadelphia. Insightful advice for those seeking more than just a job, but a career from the nation's top diversity recruiter, Kenneth L. Johnson. Whether you're starting your career, changing careers, or looking for that next great opportunity, the Career Seekers Show provides a virtual GPS that delivers real career advice that leads you to your career destination.
It's the Career Seekers Show live on WPPM LP Philadelphia. It's your host, Kenneth L. Johnson, sitting here live in studio with Tiffany Southerland, Alberta Bertolino. My man Will Martin is not here today. It's not a good day for Will. But anyway, let's just get it going right now. Tiff, what's really popping? How's everything?
Blessed and highly favored. Happy to be here.
Yes.
The weather has broken. I love the coolness in the air.
I like the fact that you're getting the weather report in
Always,
early.
always. There's no clouds in the sky. It's not rainy outside. It's a beautiful fall day.
It is a beautiful day. Well, no, and it's close to 80 degrees, so
yeah.
I don't even know if you want to put fall like on that.
Well, we have to.
A little warm.
We're going to still at least abide by what the calendar says is fall, even though the weather is not dictating such. But we're going to do what the calendar says.
So let's just jump into your box right now, since this is where we're at right now. So you've been really busy, trekking across the country, doing the Tiffany Southerland thing. I know you got a ton of stuff on deck for October. Man, I'm watching you hustle. I like it. I like what I see.
You know why? It's because I learned from the best. And I'm learning from Mr. Johnson over here and
really
Miss Bertolino of how to move and shake.
I spoke to one of our other Career Seeker team members, Miss Jody Brockington.
Excellent.
She shared some excellent news with me about something that you guys are partnering on that's upcoming. You want to share that with the listeners?
Absolutely, absolutely. So on what Kenneth is referring to is on the 25th of October, that's a Wednesday, I will be hosting a webinar with the National Urban League on it's called the Freshman 15 and how students can get internships.
Clap for that.
Yes.
For that.
So they're doing a great series. They're doing a great series on that. So I'll be sharing some resources on how to make sure you can get and secure a really good internship.
Now, why are you calling it Freshman 15? I know
15
what
tips.
it means.
Yeah.
Oh, 15
tips.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Okay.
A little play on words there.
All right, I like it. I like it.
So Tiff, let's walk it back down. It back down. So let's just go backwards. So I believe on the 17th of October, you and I are going to get together and support career seekers at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania.
Yes, we are.
We will be doing something for the future housing leaders of America, I guess, in conjunction with Fannie Mae and UL. I think it's like a 8 college tour, but I know they picked us to hold Philly down for all the obvious reasons.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, so we want to do a thing there and helping students connect and explore opportunities in housing. Then if we walk back closer to this date, I think next week you have something popping off, or maybe 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. Talk to them about that.
Actually, no, you're right. It is next week. It's the 12th, which is crazy that next week is already October 12th. But next week, Thursday, from 8 to 9, I'll be hosting, 8 to 9 p.m., I'll be hosting a webinar with the My Memo organization with Minda Hart.
New York City.
It's an excellent woman who's doing some great work trying to bring exposure to career growth to women all across the country. But the webinar is going to be 5 ways to make your resume stand out. And if you visit
We like our numbers.
Right, exactly. You got to give people something to hold on to.
Yeah.
If you visit on Twitter at My Weekly Memo, if you go to @TiffSouth, you'll be able to find a link there to register for the webinar on Thursday, October 12th. It's going to be at 8 o'clock. So check us out. We're also on Eventbrite. If you search for it there.
Yeah, keep making it happen. And if you're following @TiffSouth on any of her social media feeds, I'm sure that information will be there for you.
Definitely.
So AB, I'm just gonna go around the Career Seeker team right now. I received an email today from your tribe, your people at the item.
Oh, okay.
I received an email today. You guys
Great.
have some things going on.
We do.
In the tech and I guess the tech and hiring space.
That's right.
So you want to talk to the listeners about some of that stuff?
Yeah, so as the listeners know, we had Kahiga Tiaga, the founder of the item. Yeah, I know, on a couple weeks ago. And what we've decided to do for the item, which is the Inclusive Technology Entrepreneur Movement, we've created a reverse job fair. So it's more like a tech skills showcase, where the candidates will already be vetted. The employers that come already have to have viable job openings, and the candidates will sit at a table and the employers will have to go around and talk to the candidates. That's Wednesday, November 1st. It's in Center City, or University City, 3711 Market Street at the Science Center.
That neighborhood is just like on fire.
Yeah, it absolutely
it's crazy.
is.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's changed so much.
Yes,
I used to live
it
right over there when I was in law school.
Shout out to
Oh, okay.
University City. West Philly was good.
Yeah, but
You know what? Speaking of West Philly, when we were doing the remote, I saw Miss Millie from West Philly again. She was at the convention center. So shout out to Miss Millie from West Philly.
Yeah. So so if anybody in the technical space, it's inclusionhack.com. We're looking for candidates either less than 5 years, or even if it's over 5 years, even if you're pivoting, check it out. Check out the website, inclusionhack.com. We'd love to have you. If there's any employers by any chance out there that are looking for technical folks, any of the IT space, definitely also inclusionhack.com.
That's a good look. That's going to be a good look. So it's the Career Seeker team. We stay really busy out here. It's the Career Seeker Show, live, WPPM LP Philadelphia. You can hit us up if you want, 215-923-9776. It's a really relaxed day today. We got my man Jamil Rush. Jamil, good person, president of SHRM here in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia chapter of the Society for Human Resource Managers. So Jamil is going to be in the building. He'll be on the second segment of the show. Man, I wanted to share with you, AB, you weren't here earlier. Will is not here today because the Career Seekers mascot he was hit by a car today. Yeah, Will's dog was hit by a car, DJ, and he wasn't able to make it today. So our prayers and comfort go out to the Career Seeker videographer, Will Martin. Yes. Know what? While I'm even in this lane right now, and I don't even want to. We're going to speak about last week shortly.
Okay.
But man, how crazy has the news been with this whole Vegas situation? Shout out to my cousin Scott and his family. Lisa and her two friends, all three were hit out in Vegas.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So Scott, he checks in every show actually. My cousin. So his girlfriend. Her, two of her friends, they're all safe. One is still out in Vegas, but the other two are back in LA. But just man, prayers to everyone that got caught up in all of that out there. 59 people deceased and hundreds injured. So it's just been one of those weeks for me. Yeah, those Scott and Will were two of the closest people to me, and they both came with those type of messages. Yeah, and it's just, man, I'm like, man, I'm just grateful that everything is going well in my situation, but just crazy, right?
It's so insane. It's funny. I wrote a blog post probably a year ago about how to deal with current events at work. And I went back and read that blog post, and I could have written it yesterday.
Wow.
I could
Did you
have written
repost it?
I didn't. I'm trying to get my content management a lot better.
Listen, she's been doing all these other things.
But I mean, it is something that we live in a society that for a while, before social media became so prevalent, that it was easier to separate work from what was happening in the world, but you can't do that anymore. No. And I think that I'm a big proponent of people not pretending that they're not hurting, people not pretending that they're not dealing with something, not necessarily going into your office and falling out on the floor, and you know what I mean. But like, if you're not okay, you don't have to say I'm fine when someone asks you how you're doing.
Right.
You can say, I'm having a bit of a hard day today. Yeah. And
you don't have to share
why. You don't have to share why.
Exactly. You can say,
Exactly. And I think that in the world that we live in now, being mindful of politics and all that stuff, to not necessarily, you don't have to share everything, but to just be mindful and thoughtful about what other people could be feeling.
Right.
I talked to someone today whose family, it lives in different parts of Puerto Rico, and how people are having some serious challenges right now. And while my life doesn't feel that way or doesn't look that way, it weighs on us.
Absolutely.
It weighs on us. And all I can do is, I pray, I find, donated items, but whatever it is that you can do to contribute and feel like you're bringing some positive energy to this world without always absorbing the negative, just try it, because you have to protect yourself.
But the last few weeks, it's just been one thing
Just
after
nonstop.
another. And I feel very blessed where I am in my life also. But I do know people that are there. I do know people who are impacted. Good.
We should, when Jody comes, we should do a workplace wellness session.
I was exactly going to say that. That's absolutely right. She's in 2 weeks or next week?
2 weeks, third Wednesday.
Yeah. So, all right, get your stuff together, Jody.
Indeed. All right, so let's flip the script a little. So it's a big week at Philly Cam. New website up. If you didn't get a chance to take a look at the Philly Cam website, the new website is up, running, beautiful, at phillycam.org. So www.phillycam.org. Check that out. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, it's my understanding from viewing some emails, and Vanessa can run in here and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the Cammy Award nominations come out tomorrow. I don't know if the Career Seeker team's going to get a nomination, but we'll take it. We will definitely take it.
We'll do our best.
It's so know what? I don't think we're going to do a roundup today. I looked out in the green room, and our guest is here. But I do want to talk about last week. AB, how incredible was last week?
Can I just say where I was yesterday?
Yeah, do it. Let's do it. Where
I
were
was
you
at
yesterday?
the Pennsylvania Women's
You were
Cup.
there?
I was there.
You're famous now. Anybody who was there is famous.
Oh my God.
So Shonda Rhimes,
Yes.
Alberta Bertolino, and Michelle Obama
Yes.
were at the conference yesterday.
Boy, do I wish I was in their category.
Tiffany had a conflict. So she couldn't be there,
Beautiful.
but-
Yeah, I know, because I know Pepper Hamilton was a sponsor.
Yes.
Yes,
they were.
Yeah.
Plenty of sponsors for that event.
12,000 people were there. It was crazy getting around. But Carla Harris, she's an author.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
She is a
she's
powerhouse.
my new favorite. I love her.
So
I was
tell me
tweeting.
about her. Tell me about her.
She's an author. She's
A gospel singer.
A gospel singer. She's done just about everything, but she's a motivational speaker as well. And she got up and said so many powerful things. She used a lot of, I loved it because a lot of what I say about things, and so I was tweeting quotes from her yesterday.
Excellent.
And then, so
She's an executive she's not a neural. She's an executive at,
she
used to be.
Yeah,
Pardon
she
me.
used to be. Yeah.
Powerful Wall Street.
The
like
way
Wall
she
Street.
delivered it though was so interesting because she said, "I'm going to tell you what advice I'd give to my 25-year-old self." So the 5-ish minute presentation, she kept saying, "And Carla, let me tell you this." And Carla, so it was really like pulling it. It was so good. It was so good. Brene Brown was another.
She was there too?
She gave a speech too. Yeah.
God,
It's on podcast. So
well, it's interesting because when Tiff walked in, I believe you were listening
I was listening to the conversation between Michelle Obama and
There's a technology.
So everybody almost fell off their chairs.
I can
because it was their 25th wedding anniversary was yesterday, right?
So so cute.
And so at the very end of the little conversation between Shonda and Michelle, Shonda says, and you know, it's their 25th anniversary. We have a surprise for you, Michelle. And then everybody's like, oh my God, he's here. But no, it's a video, but it was still
Oh, that would have been everyone would have
Yes,
fallen on
yes,
the floor
yes.
if President Obama walked into
I
that
mean, we
room.
still gave that video a standing ovation.
Oh,
let alone-
yeah.
And I was like, I did. I couldn't help myself. I shouted out, I miss you.
Yeah, no.
So
I'm glad you were able to go.
Oh,
I'm
it
glad
was
you were
just,
able to
so
go.
I'll make sure. I'm glad you got a hold of the podcast.
Yeah.
So speaking of videos,
Yes, go ahead.
Vanessa, our station manager here, tells me that last week was the first remote broadcast in Philly Cam history. The Career Seeker shows pulled it off.
I can't believe it. It's just so great.
So we were at the National Black NBA Association conference here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. We had some unbelievable guests. My man Andy Irvin, Damon Williams were incredible.
Yeah.
Those videos, those interviews are actually up on YouTube as well. You can go check that out by going to careerseekers.work. But Tiff, it was incredible. We had a great time. AB in the building, Jody Brockington in the building, Will Martin in the building. Just one of those special moments.
Yeah.
We missed you, of course.
Absolutely.
I missed you all, and I was sad that I wasn't there. But you guys are rock stars. And I'm glad that it went well.
Yeah, we held you down.
Yeah. We'll get you again when we go live somewhere else.
Both were excellent, but Dr. Williams is dynamic. He's a special.
My goodness.
He has a gift.
Yeah.
He is just incredible. He was just, well, both of them were good.
You know, it's really interesting how things work. So I don't know, it was about 7:15 in the morning, and I received a text, and it's him. He's like, "Man, good looking out yesterday. I really appreciate you having me on." And I'm just like, "Wow, like." I appreciate the fact that, I'm just thankful that he was on, but then he reaches out to me to say, good looking out, I appreciate
Considering
you.
everything he's got going on. Yeah,
so,
that's what makes him so
and
great.
anybody that knows me knows I don't do mornings well. So I was like, who in the world is texting?
You know what? I have a book for you, Kenneth.
Do you? All right,
I do, and I've been reading it, and I'm going to get you a copy.
All right, I appreciate it.
And it is about
It's
sleep.
going to help me get up.
And it's about sleeping and getting up.
See, I don't go to bed, but here's the thing, I go to bed at like 4.
That's the problem,
Okay,
and you're gonna learn some things about that.
I need to give that to my daughter.
Yeah,
she doesn't read books though, so
she can listen to it. It's on
that's
Kindle.
yeah. I get it.
That's the thing. People don't have. Oh, I don't read. You can listen.
Yeah.
If you don't read,
I
listen.
got it.
Yep.
I gotta tell her that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of stuff going on. Again, we have an outstanding guest coming on in the second segment, Jamil Rush. And I'm just excited about this gentleman. I've been knowing him for a few years, and I just think he's just a class act, a really good guy. So I think he's coming off a vacation. I need to speak to him about that too. Yeah. So anybody that's coming on, I was in Phoenix, and there was an Uber driver, right? And she picked us up at the airport, and she says to me, the reason I hang out in the airport area is because either people that are leaving are typically in a good mood, and people that are coming home are in good moods. Oh. So I don't really have to deal with people having an attitude.
Okay.
Yeah, and it made so much sense to me. I'm like, you're happy to be home, but you're also happy to leave too.
Yeah,
Sure.
you're excited about where you're going.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it made a lot of sense. So
So those are some of the best conversations with Uber and Lyft drivers. Sometimes
Yes. I had a great one
too.
yesterday.
Sometimes they say a lot, but it's so interesting talking to people. I got to ride in a Tesla, my last Lyft.
Oh, you
Tesla,
did not.
I swear. It was one, and the guy was the nicest guy, and he's like,
where were you at? And they had the Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
I was
How
out
could he
in. He worked in sales.
Okay. Oh,
And I was out way in the burbs near Delaware. Like I was at a church event. And I request my Uber. That whatever. I was at a church event, and I request my Uber, and it says Tesla, and I was like, excuse me, a Lyft, because I don't use Uber. Lyft, and I was like, what? So I get in the car, and I was like, I have a confession. I've never been in a Tesla before. And he was like, great, most people haven't, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. And I was like, yes! So and he was super nice. We had this intellectual conversation, and then he starts breaking down the dashboard. The whole, like the console, it's literally a digital screen that's like this wide. and like this long. It's like it was amazing. It was. I was like, I think I have a new car that I want.
I was just gonna say that. I know you've been
because
thinking about getting a car. Is that your?
I mean, I can't. That's several years out, but
Yeah.
it is the car that is now on my list of cars that I can't afford but still want.
Yeah,
So anyway, enough
Yeah.
about Tesla.
yeah,
Maybe they'll be a sponsor for the show one day.
definitely.
That would be nice.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta speak that into
There you
existence.
go. Right.
But it was really cool.
That'd be a sponsor of the Cameo Award-winning.
Hey, there we
I'm just speaking
go.
it into
You gotta
existence.
speak
I'm
it into
sorry. I gotta
existence.
speak
You
it
gotta
into
speak it into existence.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? So you said there was something I was gonna ask you. What was your favorite thing that Michelle Obama said yesterday in her conversation with Shonda Rhimes?
Was there anything career-related?
Oh, so much. At least the first
Well,
part that
yeah,
I watched.
well, yeah. So it was interesting because they both praised their families when they were growing up, their parents, and they said that they were fortunate because Michelle especially talked about how she and her brother were never shushed. That they could have a differing opinion. They could not always listen, but they were never shushed. They were always allowed to speak up. They were always encouraged. Michelle
That's
also
huge.
praised her father. Anytime that her older brother was going to learn boxing, Michelle got a little pair of boxing gloves too. Whenever Craig, that's her brother's name, was going to go have a catch, Michelle went and had a catch too. It was never one
Boys
over
do this, girls do
right,
that. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So she was always encouraged,
That's awesome.
and so it was just interesting to hear. It was just, but it's so true. And
Yeah.
I hope, and if you're listening, Grace, you can let me know. I hope that I've done that for you. But
Yeah, and
so
I think that the way that translates into careers is that if you teach a young woman
and
that
that's
she
where they were
has a
going with it.
voice,
Yeah, exactly.
that
That's it.
she will speak up for herself,
Right.
and she'll know
Right.
how to navigate. Because there are studies that show that as young as like 4 or 5 young girls start to conform
right.
to societal expectations
Right.
that they be quiet
Right.
or that they not be bossy.
Don't raise your hand
or
in class.
right, exactly, and they start to take on those identities
Mhm.
that thereby translate into not asking for raises,
Right,
not
correct.
negotiating salaries,
Correct.
not asking for promotions or what you deserve.
So, in answer to your other question was it about career? So one of the things that they both said, Shonda had spoken earlier in the morning, and then this was a separate conversation, but you belong at the table. Women do belong at the table, and what Michelle then followed up with is that it's amazing once you get to that table, how those people are either just as smart or not as smart as you are. And she said, and then what they both said is, if you find yourself with a seat at the table, but you aren't speaking up, step aside and give that seat to somebody who will
else.
speak up.
Wow.
So acknowledge that.
Yeah.
So-
And that's powerful because you're just taking up space in the room where it can
and
be
that
used.
was their point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So it was just, yeah.
I love Michelle Obama. And
Yeah.
Shonda just launched a website called
Yes,
Shondaland,
right.
her blog.
Yeah, she talked a
And
little bit
some of
about
the
that.
posts on there
Yeah.
they're out of this world. And
Yeah.
she writes on there too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're just so amazing, the two
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
And just for them to be sharing a stage together.
And I'm a fan of 2 of her
Oh,
shows
yeah.
anyway, so it was just
Yeah.
great. And but then she also shared how most of her staff are female, and she said for the few males that she has, they're very strong females, so she feels bad for the rest of the staff.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
so she's like, yeah.
They'll be all right.
Yeah. So it was kind of funny to hear her say that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no, but hold on. I know what that feels like a little. I think.
Well,
right now, yeah.
that means you're in the presence of greatness, my friend. If you're
So with that being said, you know what? It's probably time to go to break. Let's bring my man Jamil in. We're gonna bring him in after the break. It's the Career Seekers Show. Hit us up 215-923-9776. It's the Career Seekers Show, WPPM. Let's go.
If you have questions for HR professionals, send us in, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Yeah,
even though
I
you
wanna
probably
see
can't
it.
see me because I'm walking towards the camera.